Hello everybody, it's me scooping hot take, but Halo Infinite is actually pretty good, guys. So, first of all, hello, welcome to my college dorm. Yeah, not the greatest video editing setup, or even recording setup, I mean, but I'm doing my best, guys. I got the LEDs, like what else is there, bro? It's either that or you get a view of my unmade bed, so take your pick. Anyway, I'm gonna keep this video pretty short, pretty unedited. I'm gonna do my absolute best to get it out as quick as possible because I just want to make some content, but more specifically, I really want to talk about Halo Infinite because it's certainly been making its rounds in the news online recently. Now, if you haven't heard, Halo Infinite recently had like a 30-minute developer update. I have no idea why it's that long because the roadmap they released has like 5 things on it, each of which could be summed up in about 30 seconds. And that's kind of the problem here, actually. Halo Infinite is not a live service game. Now, I know, 343 keep calling it a live service game. That's their number one mistake, because it's just not. Like, there's nothing about this game that is live service. It doesn't receive frequent and regular updates. That's about it. That's all you need for a live service game. It doesn't do that. Stop calling it a live service. Now, it is a little hard to categorize this game if it's not a live service. I mean, it had sort of a staggered launch with a little bit of beta for, like, you know, the PvP stuff. Then it had a full campaign release, and now we're getting new features and some PvP stuff, like, patched in over time. What is that, then? It's early access, guys. If 343 would just start calling it an early access game, it would make a lot more sense. Now, I know, early access, it has some baggage to it, okay? A lot of people, when they hear about early access, specifically the survival horror genre that was kind of famous for that a few years back, they think of like buggy, unfinished garbage. It doesn't have to be. It can just be a game that's like not completely finished yet, but is still in a playable state that can be released and updated over time. And the best example of this is one of my all-time favorite games, Subnautica. Now, first of all, just jumping back for a second, Halo Infinite definitely should not be calling itself a live service game because this is why it's catching all the flack. People are talking about, oh, it's a live service game with no content. Other live service games are Destiny and Fortnite, where they're receiving basically weekly updates of like substantial content. Destiny, every week when you log in, except for like the last third of a season or so, you have a couple of steps of a story to progress through. You have all these new guns to chase that drop every season, a new activity that drops every season, sometimes 2 or even 3 like this season, and like maybe even like a new location. Fortnite, you know, they switch up the map every season. They switch in and out weapons and gimmicks and just the whole tone of the game, really. There's a lot going on. Halo Infinite, since its launch, has had not a whole lot added to it overall. So going back to Subnautica and why I think this game should be early access. If you don't know about Subnautica, first of all, go play it. It's fucking awesome. I really don't see anyone who wouldn't like Subnautica. Basically, Subnautica is an underwater survival game. I'm not going to call it a horror game, but it is pretty scary because it's the ocean on an alien planet. But anyway, this game was in early access from 2015 all the way up to 2018. It spent 3 years, and it went from this
LifePod beacon will no longer stop functioning if you swim very far away from it, which means it can now serve its intended purpose,
to this.
Scans indicate this location supports a diverse and healthy ecosystem. Exploration is conducted at your own risk. Utilizing alien resources is a proven survival strategy. Explore, study, catalog new species, secure food and energy.
The point is, the game received not all this drip feed content live service stuff like Destiny or Fortnite, but every couple of months or so, they would release like a 1-minute trailer, add in a couple of new features that they got working, and then put it into the game for people to play, and then they just kept working until the game was finally finished. Halo Infinite is missing core features that should be released in these big updates whenever they're ready to go. They don't need to save it for a winter update or a season 3 and drip feed it over time. When it's done, just put it in the game. Now, Halo Infinite is a little hard to compare to a game like Subnautica because you have 343i from like the biggest company in the planet, Microsoft, compared to Unknown Worlds, a small indie development team. But something like Subnautica, when it launched, it looks completely different than how it looks now, whether it's UI or just generally graphic overhauls. Halo Infinite had something similar, except it was delayed a full year for the graphics to actually be up to par. That's a little more fair. That's not exactly what I was talking about. I don't mean they should have released it like when the campaign was finished, even though it looked like shit, and then like updated the graphics every time. No, I mean these big gameplay things like Forge or co-op, like basic things a Halo game should have. If it's just not ready by the time to launch, that's okay, man. Like, mismanagement sucks. I'm not blaming the individual developers for that. If it's not ready, like, it doesn't matter. It's not ready. Like, you can't go back and change the past. All you can do is release the game, but don't make us wait over a year and then cancel split screen, okay? It might seem like I'm going off topic, but basically, my point is, Halo Infinite released when it did, right? Okay, we got that PvP beta for like a month or a couple of weeks, however it was, before we got the campaign. Perfect. Now, whoopsies. Leave that for a couple of weeks, and maybe even like 2 or 3 months or something, and then the second it's ready, throw Forge in the game. What is this winter update, November 8th from March 7th, where we are getting Forge, campaign co-op, updates to the Battle Pass, Detachment and Argyle, new maps, XP beta. Like, why are we waiting for an update to do an XP beta? Just put the update in the game. Like, an XP beta, I swear to God, you gotta change a couple of numbers around, see how it works. If people don't like it, change a couple of numbers back, update it again. Why are we waiting for the winter update for most of this stuff to be almost done so you could drip feed it over this winter update period? Just start it now when it's ready. The reason they're waiting is because, like a live service, it needs to have seasons or like these big update windows for them to drip feed stuff, which is, you know, the phrase I keep saying. If you're not familiar with drip feed, it's like in Destiny, where right now we're in season 3 of Witch Queen, Season of the Plunder, where the entire story is finished for the season, obviously, but Bungie's only releasing the story within like 4 or 5 steps per week, and it sort of works. It's a little bit annoying if you want to grind out the whole story at once, but you can also just wait like a month and a half, do it then when it's all in the game, or you can play it, you know, as it comes out. Halo Infinite is trying to do the same thing, where they have Season 3 Echoes Within from March to June, where they're waiting to drip feed you 2 new maps, a new weapon, updating the Battle Pass, a new piece of equipment, the custom game browser, a narrative event. We don't really know what that is, or maybe it was in the update. I didn't bother watching the whole thing. More Forge updates, quality of life improvements. Quality of life improvements is not something you need to throw on here, and the only reason is because they're desperately trying to be a live service. If it was just an early access game, you could throw out quality of life improvements whenever you wanted. You wouldn't have to put out this like super detailed roadmap and try to be competing with things like Destiny and Fortnite that also have these roadmaps. Like in-game reporting, we're waiting for Season 3 in March of next year for an in-game reporting system. There's no way that they don't at least have that mostly done by now, when it's currently the start of September. Like, how long could a report system possibly take? You could probably copy and paste it from Halo 5 with a couple of changes. Honestly, this is kind of a vent. It's really an extended TikTok. Like, if you want to follow me on TikTok, I'm Scoop Reviews on there as well. This is mostly what I talk about, just condensed into like a minute and a half. Here, I need a lot more time, which is why it's on my YouTube channel, but it's also not a lot of editing for me to have to do, so I wanted to get this out because I'm in college, I'm a busy man now. But yeah, Halo Infinite, moral of the story, 343. Stop calling it a live service. If you can't support it being a live service, just don't. It's not like Halo 4 was released and then instantly died on impact because it didn't have constant updates coming out. I know times were technically different back then, but if people enjoy just the basic mechanics of the game, they're gonna keep playing it. Like, Halo Infinite has a really fun and cool campaign and an awesome open world to explore. If you guys, instead of waiting for Season 3 to do new narrative events, just like start putting them out whenever you have it. You don't need to wait for Season 3 so you can throw it on the roadmap. Okay, my conclusion is just going back to ranting more. How long is the video? 10 minutes? 343? You could save a lot of problems if you didn't do that, and if you stop now. You already canceled split screen co-op. Okay, there's not a whole lot more you could take away from us. That's literally all I was waiting for. I don't even care about Forge. I've never used Forge. Just call it early access or something, and then when we get Forge, when we get co-op, when we get like new equipment and narrative events and stuff that you want to add into the game, all this stuff that just kind of builds on what's already there, when it's done, just call it released. Like, I don't understand. Whatever, guys. I really like Halo Infinite, and I'm really sad that this is the route that it's going, where everyone's like, Halo Infinite's dead. Because if it wasn't trying to be a live service, I feel like, besides the fact people were upset with the lack of content, the lack of content would probably be coming out in a bit of a different order if they weren't trying to support the live service model. We'd have more stuff to enjoy, and people would be a bit more relaxed about it. These are my thoughts. They might be useless, but they're mine. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and keep it crispy.